Name that tune. I'm a southern rock junkie with a lot of blues and rock and roll mixed in there, so if you've heard my stuff before in any of my intro music, this is what it would be. At any rate, welcome into another DFS Army podcast, or not podcast. It's more of a screencast video. I wanted to take you through a little bit of how we pick defenses. I'm going to attach this to the article that I'm going to write and release hopefully today. I wanted to show you some of the videos that are available for you as DFS Army members. So these are screen share process videos, and these seem to be, getting a decent hit. So what I wanted to do was put together another one and show the process of going through the defenses. The first thing that I look at is the Vegas lines. Now, I know we don't have our projections yet. Those are due out Wednesday afternoon sometime. But for you guys that are eagerly awaiting and trying to get something done, defenses are really not that hard to pick. You statistically are looking for home favorites. I like looking for, I don't mind the game total so much. I'll get into that in a second. I kind of like outdoor games, to be honest with you, because those have some wind elements, sometimes some rain elements, things like that. But the reason that I say don't worry so much about the game totals is what I don't mind shootouts for defenses. I mean, do I want a team to score 30 points on my defense? No. But I'm not trying to predict shutouts. Those don't happen. That didn't even happen in Seattle and Arizona last week. So you're typically going to be giving up on a great day somewhere between, say, 3 to 6 and, 10 to 15 points. That's just what defenses give up. So I'm not going for the home run and trying to predict the shutout. And if I predict a shutout, it's generally such an overwhelmingly dominant performance, there weren't a lot of turnovers in it anyway, because the offense couldn't do anything. I want an offense that can do something. I want an offense that is forced to throw it. And I want a defense that can take it away, or force fumbles, or get sacks, or do some of those things. Because in a game that goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, that's what we're looking for, opportunity. So I think that we put a lot of emphasis, maybe too much, on the over-under. Again, I'm not really targeting the 52-point games. 45 doesn't scare me. 46 doesn't scare me. I don't have to pick one of these little bitty total games, 41, 43, and automatically go there. So, now, but I will use the Vegas odds in my favor. Anywhere between 3 and 6 points helps. It's okay. Over 6 or 7, God forbid over 10, is what you're looking for. Those are generally dominant situations where a team's going to jump out to a quick lead and the other team is going to be forced to chuck it. And if he's chucking it with a bad quarterback, I want it to be to my defense. Cincinnati and Washington may or may not happen, but 6 points. Vegas is telling me to look closely at Cincinnati. Atlanta is sort of kind of in play, not really, but Houston kind of in play. I'm looking for heavy turnover teams on the road. Seattle, sorry. Now if Seattle was a huge favorite, I would definitely look at them, because you're going to get those guys. You want to talk about low ownership? That's one spot I look for low ownership. When a defense is on the road, nobody likes it, and like the last couple of weeks, the Patriots were on the road, while outside of Cleveland, their ownership was up a little bit. But generally speaking, a road defense that, even if it's a heavy favorite, a 10-point favorite, like when Seattle went down to the LA Rams, nobody was on them. Why? Because they just didn't think that the away defense could perform. They do when they're over 7 and 10-point favorites. New England not going to get my attention. Too close of a game going back and forth. I don't really know what the hell's going to happen there. Kansas City, not really. By the way, start targeting Kansas City secondary. Luck and T.Y. make a good stack this week. Denver, here's a good defense at home. Another team's going to be forced to take to the air. Denver's got a lot of opportunity coming at them yet again, so I'm going to look at them. Won't be looking at this game. Dallas is intriguing. Dallas is going to be cheap. Philly's always in play. Great special teams. They return kicks. Minnesota is in play this year. They've been really good and really solid. And with who the hell knows who's going to be throwing the ball for Chicago now that Brian Hoyer, sadly broke his arm. We just don't know what we're going to get. It's a good spot for the defense. So, again, I am looking, and I prefer the home defenses, but when in a week like this, when it's looking pretty thin, I'm not afraid to jump on a couple of road defenses. So where do I go for confirmation? I run to either ESPN or NFL.com or some of those sites. And while we're waiting again for projections to come out, you can too. Defenses, like I said, are just not that hard to predict. Let's look for who's leading in sacks. Sort by sacks. You've got it open to the regular season defense tab. You sort by sacks. We can close the Vegas outsiders or insider line. So look at that, Indianapolis leading in sacks. That can't be right. Own, opponent, own. Man, I should have done a little bit of preparation and seen Cincinnati, Cleveland, Atlanta. These have got to be teams that are getting sacked, to be quite honest with you, because I would think. Oh, that ticks me off. Sorry, guys. Let me flip this and see if it makes a difference. Maybe should have been a little bit better prepared than that. San Francisco getting more sack? Let's see. 21 Buffalo. There we go. This is better. Sort by own, not opponent. And you're looking for defense. Denver, a lot of sacks. Buffalo, a lot of sacks. Tennessee, a lot of sacks. Philly, a lot of sacks. Arizona, Seattle. These are teams that are getting to the quarterback. They're causing pressure. They're causing mistakes. And whether it be fumbles or whether it be turnovers or the beloved pick six, any of these things are what we're honestly after. And I got to be honest with you. Sacks is where it starts. This starts to build your floor. Get 3, 4, 5 of those in a game, and a couple of turnovers, and you're there. You're hitting the 10-point threshold that we kind of look for. I want to look for. I wish there was a total turnovers category because interceptions, fumbles, whatever. If I'm looking at the interceptions category, we'll see if some of these same teams don't pop up. Well, Kansas City has got cornerback, takes a lot of risks, not a lot of sacks though. Minnesota, bang. Arizona, bang. Minnesota's in a good spot this week. We mentioned that, right? So there's going to probably be one of our favorite defenses. San Diego, on the road. Baltimore, not bad. Oakland, Atlanta, Buffalo, Cincinnati, 15 sacks, 6 picks. Tennessee, 20 sacks, 6 picks. These teams are in play. Again, you prefer them to be on at home and not on the road. Here's one at home, 22 sacks, 5 picks. You'd think they're probably just not throwing the ball against Denver that much. If we look at forced fumbles, how about recovered fumbles? I don't care about defense touchdowns. Those are unpredictable. You don't know when you're going to get one. So I'm not typically worrying about them as a category is concerned. Here, recovered fumbles. 13 picks, or 13 turnovers, and 22 sacks. Here's 19 sacks and 20 sacks with 9, 5, 7, 7, so 16 and 12. So any of these top 3 are okay. Buffalo. 21 with 6 turnovers and 6 of 12. Again, Buffalo's in there. That's why. Yeah, I know. I gotta clean. This is my kid's computer. I gotta clean it. He's been somewhere he shouldn't have been. Rams, not a good spot. Dallas, surprisingly, not getting to the quarterback a lot, but they're creating turnovers. 5, 4, 9. This might be a good sneaky little spot for Dallas's defense. Arizona, 20 sacks, 14, 9 and 5. It's 14. That's up here with these guys. They're just a little low in the sack total, or I guess the forced fumbles. They got a lot more picks than forced fumbles. So I'm going through here and I'm trying to sort my head out and see. And I like Minnesota. I am always going to like Philadelphia. I like Denver. Denver's probably in the best spot, this weekend. So I've got a short list already. Denver, Minnesota, Philly, maybe Dallas if I need a cheap one. Done. You just don't have to look that much more into it. Defenses are volatile, and you spread out your risk. You've got the 3 or 4 or 5 in the best positions on the slate, based on statistical evidence, based on Vegas's support, and now you just roll them out there. You got different price points. Dallas might be a little cheaper. Denver's going to be expensive. Pay up if you've got the money left over. Pay down if you need the money. You're still in a good spot. And we don't know what defenses are going to go nuts. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more down the road when it comes to the optimizer and things like that. So tune back in, and we're gonna go through that hopefully later this week. So this is just a quick defensive pick. I'll bury this video in with the write-up. And as always, if you like this stuff, we're members of the DFS Army, and dfsarmy.com is our site. You can follow us at DFS Army on Twitter. You can follow me at Chapodong on Twitter. And of course, if you want VIP information, you can always check out the coupon code CHOP, CHOP, and get 20% off your first month if you're not already a member. So take care, guys. Hope you like the stuff. We're going to get to working on some content.